The following program is in described video for the visually impaired. It is also suggested that you listen to it under the influence of heavy drugs. Thank you.
Welcome back, beards and beardettes, to another fine installment of, you guessed it, The WhiteBeard Show. Today's video is going to be part of the line of maintenance videos I've talked about in previous tutorial videos. And this particular one is all about taking care of your pressure cooker seal. Pressure cookers are an expensive tool that we use in cultivation, so we damned well better know how to properly take care of them. And today, we're going to talk about just that. I know I've gone over this slightly in another video, but today, we're going to do a much deeper dive on this subject. So, refill your drink, get a snack, and get cozy in your favorite chair, because we're going to learn something new today. But before we get started, I want to take a moment to shout out a friend of mine, Mycelium Equilibrium. I'm assuming quite a few of you are familiar with this man, but for those of you who aren't, check this out. Mycelium Equilibrium, some call him Boss, has been a member of our community for going on a decade now. He makes some amazing genetics and frequently collaborates with Manna from Heaven. You should definitely check out his Instagram to see his agar work and his canopies. They are second to none. Also, he has a web store where any of you can copy yourself some of his amazing genetics. He has both spores and liquid cultures. He also has merch and supplies. You can show your love by grabbing one of his hats, shirts, or wristbands. Or you can grab much needed agar plates or powdered mixes to make your own. That's right. He's got those too. He's even got scalpel blades, scalpels, agar punches, forceps, and even labels to label your plates with. So check him out at myceliumequilibrium.com. Please remember, I don't get paid for any of this. My promotions are absolutely free. These are my friends in the community that are doing great things, and I believe not only in them, but what they're doing as well. So, let's help support those in our community that have been here supporting us. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. It has recently come to my attention that certain oils could be bad for your pressure cooker seal. Someone commented on my drippy corn video that oil is in fact bad for your seal. So, I did a little research and found out that they are partially right. It turns out that in fact, specifically, petroleum-based oils, jellies, and greases are particularly bad for rubber seals, and that most of us have those on our pressure cookers and canners. An even deeper dive on the subject revealed that they are also known for eating silicone seals as well. So whether you have a rubber seal or a silicone seal, please do not use petroleum-based oils, jellies, and greases to condition your pressure cooker and canner seal. Simply use mild soap. You know, an unscented and uncolored soap. The original white ivory bar soap is an excellent choice. Use the soap and water to clean your seal. Pat it dry and allow to sit for air drying for 20 minutes to ensure it's completely dry. As far as conditioning goes, from what I've learned, something you can use that you already have on hand at home is seed and plant oils. You know, olive oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil, and avocado oil are all safe for conditioning your rubber gaskets. That being said, silicone spray, silicone grease, and other rubber sealed lubricants labeled as such are definitely safe when it comes to cleaning and conditioning your rubber seals. Also to note, silicone gel is bad to use on silicone seals as well. I would have never guessed that. That sounds crazy to me, but it is what it is. So, if your seal is silicone, avoid using silicone gel on it as well. As for the silicone seals, it's only recommended to keep them clean. They don't require conditioning. Mineral oil and vegetable oil are a couple of things you might already have in your home that are fine to clean and condition your silicone seals with. A few other things you may already have on hand that are also silicone safe would be mild soap and water. Yep, just like the rubber seals, Ivory soap does a great job. But whatever you do, don't use dish soap. Dish soap is yet another petroleum product that will harm your silicone seal. Rubbing alcohol is great for cleaning and sanitizing your silicone seal as well. Apply some to a hand towel or paper towel and wipe till clean. Some of us use 10% bleach solution to sanitize our equipment and tools with. This is also a great option when it comes to cleaning silicone safely. And hopefully, we've all got some basic distilled white vinegar on hand that we use to keep our PCs clean and functioning well. This is also a great choice for cleaning silicone. Dip a cloth or sponge in some of this wonder solution, apply it to your seal, let it sit for a few hours, and then just rinse it clean and dry it. So, if we follow these simple guidelines, we should have no problems keeping our seals and other rubber and silicone items in good shape. On a separate note, I want to take a moment to let you all know that I'll be changing the day I release my videos. I've recently learned that I can go into YouTube Studio and check the analytics to see which days and what times the majority of my subscribers are on and watching videos. It seems the sweet spot is either going to be Monday at 7 p.m. or Friday at 6 p.m. And since my good friend Mycology drops his new content on Mondays, I've elected to drop mine on Fridays. So, from this point on, expect to see my new content on Friday evenings. Well, that's all for today, beards and beardettes. Remember, stay safe out there and happy cultivating. Beard out.